this week's blog, how to avoid gaining weight as you hit your 40s. So it's something that people kind of think is a fait accompli when they get older, that they're going to struggle to lose weight or the greater predisposition towards gaining weight, but that's really not the case, and we definitely shouldn't get into our 40s and upwards assuming that weight gain and changes in body composition should be a fact. So there's 4 things that you can do in order to avoid gaining excess weight as you hit your 40s and upwards. Now the first one is be aware of your energy balance. Now what I mean by this is we have to match, if we want to maintain a steady weight, we have to match the number of calories going into the body, in other words the energy going in, need to match the calorie expenditure, in other words the calories that are going out, and you need to find that balance. Now as we go into 40s and upwards, we tend to burn fewer calories, our metabolism slows down a little bit, so it's important to be aware of that. Maybe you need to do something to modify that energy balance. Portion size is a good first thing to have a look at. Now to counter that as well, because it may be more difficult to lose weight, increase the amount of energy you're expending. So 3 simple ways of doing this. 1, increase your daily life movement. So that's stairs instead of the escalator. It's walking wherever you can. It's trying to do a little bit more physicality all day long, but nothing major. It's just getting up and down from your chair every 30 minutes, stairs, etc. So lots of daily life movement. Second thing you can do is moderate exercise. So this should be about 3 to 5 times a week. Could be a light jog, could be playing with the kids, it might be brisk walking. So daily life movement, moderate exercise 3 to 5 times a week. And then high intensity is also very important, and you can do this 2 ways. You could either do just a few minutes a day, like a Tabata sequence, or a short run. Maybe that's part of your commute, you walk half the way and you run the rest, depending on how you're clothed. Or alternatively, you can do 2 high intensity sessions per week, and it doesn't have to be very long, just be 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes in total. So that will just help redress the energy balance, where you might find that the energy going out isn't quite matching what was going in anymore. And this is in part because as we get older, 40s and so on, we have perhaps a family, we have more sedentary lives, we're a little bit more set in our ways possibly, we are just busier, we have less time for leisure. So energy balance is number 1. Number 2 is being mindful that your metabolism is slowing down. Look at your diet. Can you cut out some refined carbohydrates? Can you cut out some of the processed food even more? Can you increase your vegetable intake and to a certain degree your fruit? So looking at your diet and then look at your portion control to accommodate the fact your metabolism is slowing down. And I just want to read to you some of the benefits you might get from eating just 2.5 portions of vegetables more than you currently do. And this is a study that was run in 2017 by the Imperial College of London, and they found this. Participants who increased their veg by 2.5 portions a day had a 16% reduction in risk of heart disease, 18% reduction in the risk of stroke, a 13% reduction in the risk of cardiovascular disease, a 4% reduction in the risk of cancer, and a 15% reduction in the risk of premature death. So that is pretty outstanding. Now, third thing is stress management. Stress can help us to gain weight or cause us to gain weight. And it does this via 2 things really. Firstly, when we're stressed, some of us respond by emotional eating, so we consume a lot more food and perhaps more junk food as well. But the other thing is when we're stressed, we produce more cortisol. And cortisol instructs the liver to release glucose because it thinks we need to respond to a physical threat. So this can cause lots of glucose in the blood, which has a corresponding insulin response, and suddenly you can start getting your hormones disrupted when it comes to weight gain and fat storage. So be mindful of stress. Look at things like meditation, mindfulness, slowing down, saying no more often, making time for heartfulness, which is doing things that you love. You know, whether it's knitting, painting, sewing, walking, reading a book, just having 10 minutes in the bath to yourself. So look at stress management as well. And the last thing is hormones. And this is particularly aimed at women. As we get to perimenopausal and menopausal, which is not necessarily 40s, it could be younger, but it's typically older, our estrogen levels drop, and that can cause the body to gain weight. Our progesterone also drops, and that can cause bloating and water retention. But we become more insulin sensitive, so there's a potential there for more fat storage because insulin is the fat storage hormone. So 4 things: energy balance, slowing metabolism, stress management and hormones. They're all reasons why you might potentially start to gain weight in your 40s, but very good reasons why it doesn't have to be that way and what you can do about it. As always, let me know what you think of this. Leanne at bodyshotperformance.com, and speak to you next week.